Good evening, everybody. Thanks for checking back into the channel. Today what we're going to do is set the KLR 650 up for spring gobbler season, or turkey season if you're not familiar with what a spring gobbler is. It will be starting up here in Pennsylvania next Saturday for the adults, so I want to be ready to go in case I use the bike and take it out and do a little turkey hunting. Show you what I got here. Okay, so what I have here is a Kolpin 4 gun boot with the Kolpin ATV style mounting rack, and of course I have this mounted on. To begin with, you will need to do it this way. You'll need some type of pannier rack. This is the Tusk pannier rack I have on this bike, and I use the Tusk hard cases. Of course I have one on this side to put any extra gear in that I may use to put in that I don't want to have on while I'm riding to my hunting spot. And I choose not to have a box mounted on here for the simple fact of if you kill a large turkey, rather than try to haul it in your vest, you're better off to put it across the bike and have some bungee straps to strap it down and haul it home. So, of course, with this setup, you have the gun boot here. You know, of course, if you're familiar with the gun boot, this piece comes off. You slide your gun down in, then of course you put your top piece back on, and there's a little hole right here where you put a pin through so that this cannot come off. And of course you put a pin through right here to hold it onto the bike and onto the mount. So of course I'll take this off. I do not have this mount securely bolted down right now. I get a lot of questions on this when guys watch. I have a video up on the KLR when I was out whitetail hunting. So I get a lot of questions on what I had. I had done a video with this on my previously owned DRZ 400. I did a full mount up video on it. So I didn't, a lot of guys see it on the KLR 650, the more recent video, and they want to know what I'm using. So I don't have this bolted down tight yet because I want to show you kind of how the Tusk pannier rack is situated here that I'm bolting to. But as you can see on this Kolpin mount, there has a large slot here. You can move this up and down, and I'll show you how I have it. I have it on an angle away from the bike so that it clears my foot peg, and when I get on and off the bike, I'm not banging into the gun boot whenever I get on. But you can adjust this. If you prefer to have your gun straight up and down, you can. You can even reverse this so that your gun is pointing backwards. You just have to be careful when you have it the way I do. You don't want to be on like any tight trails because the tip of the gun boot could catch. So some of you guys may want to tilt it up and down and move it right in behind your heel when your foot is down on the peg so that you don't have to worry about that. I just like it this way because it's out of the way when I get on and off the bike, and plus I'm also running the pannier on the other side, so I have to be mindful anyhow. That's about the distance of a pannier width out over here, so I'm the same on both sides, so I can't go on any tight trails anyhow because I'm running the pannier on the other side. And of course I have U-bolts here. Here's one U-bolt and here's another. I'll pop this plate off here real quick, and you can see, look at, there's such a variety of mounting holes here to get this. So you can, you can move this in a lot of different ways to mount this. Like I said, you can even spin it around 180 degrees from where I'm at and have it facing backward. There's all kind of different options on this. But let me get this off of here, and I'll go ahead and just show you how the rack is. The Tusk pannier rack is. Now I'm not familiar with like other countries, other companies that make all the pannier racks. There's several companies, but the Tusk one is perfect, and I'll show you why here in a second as soon as I get this off. for this purpose. And like I said, I have used this this coal pin ATV mount on other bikes with rack systems on it. My U-bolt's a little tight here. Okay, got one off. I think the threads are a little messed up on this guy. Come on. Come on. The ends of this U-bolt are cut because I had cut them. I was using this on something else I had mounted on a bike, so I cut the tips of the U-bolt flush and they're a little bit rough right now. Come on. I'd like to use my bikes for as many purposes as I can, so hunting, fishing, camping, all that. I like to find ways to use them, and it's just one more way to use your bike. Okay, now if you can see there in the camera, see we have this section of the pannier rack is running parallel with the bike. Then you have this piece that comes out perpendicular to this piece, and that's what you need to get a nice secure mount with this plate, because you don't want to just have this one something like this to mount to, because you're going to get spinning. It's going to spin around the plate unless you would use a single hole and drill straight down through to mount it. You could, but you want to have this where you got something, 90-degree angle type deal, because you have a U-bolt here, a U-bolt here. So this U-bolt stops it from going this way, and of course this U-bolt will stop it from going back and forth like this. And then of course with one here, you get no sliding either way. It's stopped both ways, the sliding. And what I do is I mark my holes so that every time I take it on and off, I can see which way I put it on the last time without trying to guess for this particular bike. And that's all you need is that. Now, when you buy this mount right here, I believe it does come with some U-bolts. It's been a long time since I purchased this mount. I bought it for an ATV years ago. Try to get that right there. But I just went to the hardware store and got these U-bolts right here for the coal pin. And like I said, I have cut these off. They actually need cut off a little bit more for this to get them flush. But you can see this U-bolt here is actually, one of them is a little bit thinner, skinnier than the other one, but they both work for me through there. Then of course you would probably want to use a lock washer or some Loctite. I just have a washer with a nut on there, and I bolt it down. And then of course, like I said, on the other side here, I have my pannier snapped on. Of course, it's the tusk. These are the small boxes. I run that on that side so that I can have any water. If I put my turkey vest in here, if I don't want to wear it while I'm riding, sometimes I don't like to do that. And of course, I put any other oddball gear in there. Like I said, I don't run anything on this section in case I get the turkey. I just throw it over there, get it strapped up so nothing is hanging over into the wheels and tires, and you're good to go. I will have to look up what this cost, and I'll put it down below in the description when I see what it costs, because like I said, it's been quite a while since I purchased this setup. But it works really well on any of my bikes as long as I have, I think on the DRZ I didn't even have pannier racks. I was running the Moose rear rack, and that's what I had this bolted up to, was the Moose rear rack on the DRZ 400. It just makes it nice. You can use your bike for other things. And another thing I do too is when I have that boot on there, a lot of times in the summer I just take the top cover off and I will shove fishing rods that are breakdown fishing rods and just shove them in there, and I will use that to haul fishing rods around if I'm doing a little fishing. So I hope that helps some of you guys out and you can see what I'm using, and that'll give you something else that you can do and use the dual sport for. It's always nice to be able to get the most out of your bikes. You spend a lot of hard-earned money on them, so you might as well use them and get out of them what you can. Like, subscribe, share, get on your dual sport, your adventure bike, go do a little hunting. See ya.